evening, friends. Welcome to tonight's session. We have a lot of news to tell you about, and we've done our research to find out something very murky and something that will expose beer biceps Ranveer Allahbadia even further. So this is something that you need to really listen to understand, what's happening. And of course, there's other news as well, but this is going to be something that is explosive and something that none of you would have even expected, because we always think of Ranveer as one coming from a very prestigious family, connected to the right people, and having his contacts with the top layers of politicians and rich people. Now, there's going to be something that we are going to tell you that is going to really shake you, to the boots. That's how shocking it is. So, welcome, Expia, Gloria, Arani, and Pursa. Always nice to see you, friends, and to interact with you as well. Now, friends, as you know, talking about this case. Now, Ranveer Allahbadia has landed in trouble after his problematic comments on Samay Raina's comedy show. As you know, India's Got Latin, after Assam police, Mumbai police have also registered an FIR against him and other creators. And from the news, we hear that they have also gone to their houses. Now, he is known as, Ranveer is known as Beer Biceps. Now, he is, found himself at the center of a controversy after making remarks about parents and sex on Raina's show, which has gone viral. Now, the public backlash and legal action. Now, his comments have led to widespread criticism and police complaints, with legal action taken by the Maharashtra Cyber Department, and FIR was registered under the IT Act. Now, Ranveer issued an apology on Monday. Everything seems very rehearsed. Now, Parliament raises concern. The issue made its way to the Parliament, where Shiv Sena MP Naresh Maske called for new laws to regulate social media content more effectively. Now, the show has been taken down by YouTube, following orders from the government. YouTube has removed the episode in question from the platform. Now, the National Commission for Women takes up the matter. The NCW has asked key individuals involved, including Samay Raina, Ranveer Allahbadia, content creators Apurva Makhija, and others, to appear before them for questioning on February 17th in New Delhi. Samay Raina has put a social post in which he says he is going to cooperate fully with the investigating agencies to ensure a fair inquiry into the issue. Now, Samay, who is in the US for his comedy tour, has reportedly faced the cancellation of some stand-up shows in Ahmedabad and Surat due to the ongoing controversy, and is scheduled for gigs in multiple US and Canadian cities. Now, friends, I wonder how they call it even. They even call it a comedy show. Instead, they should call it a porno show. So this is what would be the apt title for it. Now, moving on to something very, very shocking, and this whole beer biceps thing case seems to have unearthed a complete can of worms to the public. Little known details have been found out about this man's parents. So this is something going to be very, very shocking for you, friends. So let me get to this. Yeah. So now let me get to the. Yeah. So now this is something that his parents, that is his father, has a clinic. Now, these are very shocking revelations which are going to expose his family completely, and which will take you to the question, is the whole family a fraud family? Now, these are not my words. These are taken from reports in mainstream media like Times of India, India Today, and The Hindu. And this happened at a time when Congress was in power. Okay, so now what I'm going to tell you is that this doctor, the father, his name is Dr. Gautam Allahbadia. So let me go to his picture. Yeah. So this is the man in question. Dr. Gautam Allahbadia is a leading IVF doctor in Dubai and Sharjah and an authority in the field of reproductive endocrinology and IVF. He also has a clinic in Bandra in Mumbai. He was the one who started the first same-sex couple pregnancy in India. He also initiated the first trans-ethnic surrogate pregnancy involving a Chinese couple's baby delivered by an Indian surrogate mother. Now, what I'm going to tell you is going to be shocking. See, some of these reports have revealed that it is entirely possible that there was some shady racket going on involving drugging and forcibly extracting eggs from minor Hindu girls. Their immature bodies cannot bear the trauma of multiple extraction and the forcible administration of hormone injections and medications to stimulate egg productions. And that a charge sheet was filed by the police, but a committee from the JJ hospital gave them a clean chit. The court was not satisfied. The judge directed the police to investigate the matter further. In 2013, another committee comprising Dr. Nithurkar Chavan from the Department of Forensic and Dr. Tushar from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology found no evidence of the medical negligence. But the court had to close the case and discharge the accused doctors, but the judge blasted the Mumbai police for incompetence and botching up the investigation. So, now let's just go to the next picture. This is Ranveer's mother, also a very, supposed to be a very influential person. Now, her name is Swati Allahbadia and her daughter, Dr. Akansha, both mother and sister of bare biceps, are also IVF specialists. Remember, all this happened under Congress rule. Congress was in power, both at the center and also in Maharashtra. The same Dr. Gautam Allahbadia, as I mentioned before, started the same-sex couple pregnancy in India via surrogacy. In addition, he was also into trans-ethnic surrogate pregnancy, where foreign couples have their babies delivered by poor Indian women desperate for some money. Now, as per Dr. Gautam Allahbadia's website, he is a leading IVF doctor in Sharjah and Dubai, and an authority in the field of reproductive endocrinology and IVF. He also has a clinic in Bandra, Mumbai. So now the question is, was this a respectable doctor involved in an international IVF racket? So let's go to some of the reports, that have spoken about this. So let me go to the first report, which is, I'm just going to it, friends, yes. So in this, you see the 3 doctors get anticipatory bail in egg donor death case. So let's go to that. He's supposed to be the miracle man. Now the reports have come in India Today and various other papers like the Hindu. Now 3 doctors get anticipatory bail in egg donor death case. Now this appeared on July 5th, 2014. A Sessions Court judge on Friday granted anticipatory bail to Dr. Gautam Allahbadia and 2 other doctors in a 2010 kidnap case filed against an owner of a godown whose employee, a young egg donor, had disappeared and later she died. Now, a Sessions Court judge on Friday, this is now going back in time, 2014, granted anticipatory bail to Dr. Gautam Allahbadia and 2 other doctors in a 2010 kidnap case filed against an owner of a godown whose employee, a young egg donor, had disappeared and later died. The girl was a major when she last donated her eggs at a Mumbai-based fertility clinic headed by Dr. Allahbadia, his lawyer said. But the police had said that she had allegedly donated eggs at the clinic even when she was a minor. Now, the accused godown owner had moved the Bombay High Court against the charges of kidnap and culpable homicide, not amounting to murder against him. The HC in 2012, while allowing his revision application, had set aside the charges framed and observed that the charge sheet does not show that the investigating machinery had proceeded against Rotunda Hospital, which has a record of the victim being an egg donor on 3 occasions prior to this unfortunate incident is in flagrant violation of the requirement that such a donor had to be between the age of 18 to 35 years when this victim was only 17 years on the last occasion on 7/8/2010. And she had been donating eggs for at least 1.5 years before this. Now, the pre-arrest bail plea said the H3 remarks were cursory in nature, but he now fears an arrest because of the observations. The doctor said one social worker, Noor Jahan, had got the girl named Sushma Dubai to the clinic in February 29th for egg donation. The social worker said the girl's age was 20, and the clinic doubly confirmed it with the social worker later and had no reason to believe her. The girl had also shown a PAN card as a proof of age when she was specifically told to get her birth certificate or school leaving certificate. It showed her to be 20 years old. Now, Dr. Allahbadia, we are talking about Ranveer or Beer Bicep's father, said he is a qualified obstetrician and gynecologist and a fertility and IVF specialist. The case was filed by Pramila Pandey, mother of the minor. The girl was working with a scrap dealer, and the police said she did not return that fateful day in August 2010 for lunch and was missing even at 9 p.m. Her mother did not find her at the godown, but the next day met Sunil Chaumal, the godown owner, and the accused. 2 days later, Chaumal allegedly called her mother to the godown at 9 p.m., where she found her daughter, who said she was not feeling too well and said she did not remember where she had been the 2 previous days. Later, at a municipal hospital, she was declared dead. Before admission on August 11th, the mother filed a complaint against the owner of the godown. Advocate Raja Thakre, who appeared for the doctor, argued that no crime had been committed by the doctor, who had no role to play whatsoever in what happened to the girl. Now, this article was published and written by Swati Deshpande, a senior editor at the Times of India. Now, friends, if you go to the earlier piece, the India Today piece, it is written that Mumbai court discharges doctor accused in minor egg donor's death. The case was related to the death of a 17-year-old girl who died after being hospitalized with complaints of abdominal pain 3 days after she had donated eggs. So friends, this you'll find very, very strange. The court criticized the Maharashtra police for poor investigation. A local court in Mumbai discharged a doctor, we're talking about the same man, that is Dear Bicep's father, Dr. Gautam Allahbadia, in a case linked to the death of a 17-year-old girl in August 2010, who developed medical complications 3 days after she donated her eggs. In its observation, the Mumbai Sessions Court also pulled up the Maharashtra police for its shoddy investigation in the case. The case was filed against Dr. Gautam Allahbadia, who runs a fertility clinic in Mumbai's Bandra area, in sections related to culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Now, according to the FIR details, the case revolved around the 17-year-old girl, a scrap yard worker who was rushed to the government-run hospital after she complained of severe abdominal pain 3 days after she had donated eggs. The police claimed that the egg donation procedure, which was done at Bandra-based Rotunda, the Center for Human Reproduction for the third time, violated the provisions of the Assisted Reproductive Bill and Rules, as well as the Indian Council of Medical Research Guidelines, which fix the age for a person donating eggs to be between 18 and 35. Now, in August 2010, the girl had gone to work at the scrap godown, but did not return that day for lunch or dinner, following which her family started searching for her, the police claimed. The family found her 2 days later, the police said, adding that the girl informed her mother that a few unidentified people gave her something to eat, and thereafter, she doesn't know or remember what happened to her in the last 2 days. The girl complained of severe abdominal pain, after which her mother took her to a local doctor who injected medicine in her waist, But later that night, the girl developed complications and started vomiting. She was then rushed to a civic hospital where she was again injected with medicine. She died on August 10th. The postmortem revealed several injuries, including injection marks, and as per the opinion of the autopsy surgeon, the probable cause of death was shock due to multiple injuries. During the investigation, the police claimed that the girl received a check of rupees 25,000 for donating eggs on August 7th and had returned on August 8th. She had donated eggs twice earlier in October 2009 and February 2010 as well, the police claimed. After going through all the evidence and the arguments advanced in the case, Judge Patadi concluded that there was no link as to where the victim was after leaving Rotunda Hospital on August 8, 2010 and August 9th. Moreover, the police investigation had not revealed why those who knew the girl had gone for egg donation had not revealed the same to her mother, the court observed. The court also saw no answer to the query as to who had given the girl some stupefying substance in the food, due to which she couldn't recollect where she was in the last 2 days. Now, the investigation did not reveal anything about the 25,000 rupees that the girl had received. The court said the police investigation also did not reveal how she suffered injuries apart from the injuries caused due to these injections, and what medications were given to the victim by doctors before her death. Taking an overall view of the matter, the court concluded that there was no sufficient ground for proceeding against Dr. Allahbadia and discharged him from all charges. So this is something very, very weird, friends. Now, the Sessions Court granted anticipatory bail to 3 doctors, including Dr. Gautam Allahbadia, in connection with the death of the 17-year-old Swishma Pandey, who died, as I said, 2 days after she donated eggs in 2010. Later, as we mentioned, a charge sheet was filed, but a committee from JJ Hospital gave them a clean sheet. Now, the judge wanted the police to investigate the matter in 2013, and the committee comprising of Niturkar, Dr. Chauhan, and Dr. Tushar found no evidence. A woman named Noor Jahan was the lady who brought the minor to the clinic as her guardian, but soon she vanished. So this is the curious case of 17-year-old egg donor from Sakinaka who died over 7 years ago. So you see, friends, this is all in front of you. And also the fact that this was a racket. He says, that all Muslim countries, including Saudi Arabia and Iran, have some biggest IVF centers. And this is the reason why Dr. Gautam opened his clinics in those places. Now, he's also the member of the expert, Dr. Gautam Allahbadia, father of Beer Biceps. He's the member of the experts committee to formulate the Indian assisted technology bill. And his family runs an NGO, namely Hari Charitable Trust. So he also said that I will have my retirement home come hospital for the visiting doctors in the same premises in a really rural part of India where medical help is difficult. Besides treating poor in the 100% not-for-profit charitable hospital, which he wants to run from his family-owned Hari Charitable Trust, he also wants to train the local staff as paramedicals. If we are successful in the first standalone unit, I wanted to help open 3-4 identical units in rural communities over the next 2-3 years. So, now my question to you, friends, is that was this a respectable doctor? Now, everybody believes that he's a very, sort of influential and a person connected, very well connected. Now, my question is, was this respectable doctor involved in an international IVF racket which thrived on unethical and illegal exploitation of poor Indian women, forcibly extracting their eggs and other organs and supplying it to rich clients in the Middle East and China, and promoting LGBT, related stuff? Now, as we said, his wife and his sister are all, his wife and daughter are also IVF specialists. Now, the filmmaker Jennifer Dahl has made a documentary named Exploitation, in which she has exposed how these IVF specialists prey on poor women to fill their own pockets. So it seems that it is not only Beer Biceps who is having problems. It looks like the whole family are involved in problems. So this is something that it's a very something that's revealing something very ugly about the family, and I think that the government needs to ask why this case was closed. So did Congress have any hand in this? So this is something that is very shocking. It's just so. Let me just take a few comments. Pusat says, Minaji, I'm so upset with Ranveer. I thought he was a Sanatani, but it's all for TRP. Stop watching his podcast. Public must delete from the list. And Gunzai says, thank you, ma'am, for taking this up. This has been going on for long. IVF is becoming a very dirty business. Yes, this Dr. Gautam had a case against him when a small, she was a 17-year-old girl, died. Thank you, Gloria. And Gunzai says, man, these unethical doctors give access hormonal injections to extract eggs, a very sinister business of exploitation. And remember, this lady called Noor Jahan, who brought her there, disappeared. So you see, it's very clearly it's a racket. Welcome, Seema. Yes. And Charishta says, I don't know, Ranveer's show was part of Bollywood. Hence the pathetic upbringing, and where I was thinking Beer Biceps parents must be mad with him about the statements he made. This is, yes, it may not even be surprising to them. Welcome, highly flavored. Thank you. And good move. Government must find out about these people. Yes, absolutely unethical. How could he have evaded arrest? Then again, it goes back to Mumbai police, the hospital. They are all colluding together, as we exposed in the Saif Ali Khan case. So everything is on the media platforms. If anybody wants the links are there. So there is no exaggeration here. Everything, the facts are there for you to read. Now Gunsa says, how could he evade arrest? Amazing though, it was proven that she was underage and was seen given excessive hormone injection in the greed to extract more eggs. Absolutely. At last, some limits are necessary. And Vidya says, Ranveer's become super arrogant, so he lost all bounds. I bet this girl must have not kept her parents informed that she was doing. Yes. Yeah. So, friends, now moving on to the next piece of news. So, I'll keep taking your comments, friends, as I go. Let me go on to the next piece of news. Now, in the case of Thali Wali Mami, now what's happening in the Thali Wali Mami case is that, in the Rajya Sabha, she has mentioned her name as Jaya Amitabh Bachchan in Rajya Sabha records. Now, the chair can call her with an official name only. So, if she wants to be called Jaya Bhaduri or Jaya Bachchan, she should get the name corrected officially. Because every time the chair mentions Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, she, laughs like Shurpanaga. For what we do not know. Why doesn't she call herself Jaya Bhaduri? Even after 5 terms in Rajya Sabha, her knowledge about the chair is zero. She enjoys, her whole family enjoys having crores property on people's tax money, getting benefits of a Rajya Sabha member. And only this is done because she wants to please her boss, which is the Samajwadi Party. Now, Thaliwali Mami lost her cool in Rajya Sabha during a debate. She said, you have totally ignored film industry. We are the highest paid tax payer industry. And so let me just go to that. So she says, claim that the Bollywood is the highest tax paying industry in India. And industry of India, someone objected. And they said, prove that we are not. Do you know what I pay for my income tax? Don't talk out of dirty bakwas karte hain. And there too, she shows her arrogance. I don't know what she thinks. People are under her, that she should be talking in this, obnoxious manner. And it's okay. You shout at your husband, Lambuji at home. It's all okay. It's your husband. Or you shout at Aishwarya Rai or, Abhishek. That's all okay. They are all a part of your family. But you can't come to Rajya Sabha and think that is your fiefdom and start shouting there. You give your proper name. Are you the daughter of Bhaduri? Then you name yourself as Jaya Bhaduri. You're a feminist. You don't want to be known as Amitabh Bachchan's wife. So put it as that. Every time you come and the moment the chair calls you by your registered name, you make a mockery of it by saying that now you must have been tutored. What is the meaning of that? The chair is the most educated and most experienced person. They are not selected just like that at random, So this is something that I really don't understand. So, it is rather disgusting, when these people behave in this manner, absolutely, what you say, you feel ashamed that these things are happening. And, also, let me just go to another report. 1 second, friends. So, just a second, hold on. Yeah. So, meanwhile, yes. So, let me just take a few more comments, friends, and again, Rotunda is in Bandra, Center for All the Filthy Crimes. And Sanbaj says, will this case be examined? Looks like shady stuff. I heard about the organ mafia, but this. Prasad says, wow, Meenaji, I hate of you for excellent, hats off, I guess, for excellent investigation. Thanks for exposing the cruel act done by the family. Yes. And Smita says, oh my God, this is the peak of Kali Yuga. What horrible things are happening. No one is following ethical. As for Ranveer, I really wonder what kind of upbringing it is. Also, friends, you must realize the fact that a lot of people are standing up for Ranveer, including Rajdeep Sardesai of India Today. He said that, see, he has apologized. Now, what is your problem? Okay, why do you guys protest? Now, let it all, be a bygone. In which case, my question to Rajdeep Sardesai of India Today is that, would you repeat what Ranveer said to your parents, and record that for us so that we can see how your parents react? Will Rajdeep Sardesai do that in front of his parents? And will he also say the second part where, Ranveer offered 2 crores for oral sex? Will he also say that in front of his parents? In which case, apology should be accepted by all. See, it's these people, this mainstream media, who have absolutely no shame, who support such things. Very strict rules should be brought to curb such talk. And it should not only be restricted to this person, it should be also, to people like Shilpa Shetty's husband, Ekta Kapoor. These things should happen. But political clouds, people are supporting them. Guess inequality can't be broken till these educated rich people stop taking advantage of poor people instead of helping them. How can a doctor who takes oath do this for money on a minor? Now, Gunzai says the girl's background was very poor. Sadly, she was fooled by her employer and taken to the hospital. No, apparently what happened, Gunzai, was that she was given some food, they say, and she fell unconscious. And of course, there may be, as you say, another aspect because they say she was paid 25,000. But then, Mumbai police, I don't believe them at all. This girl may be innocent for all you know. And Alina says all these trusts need to be shut down. These trusts can't be trusted. Extremely awful things happen inside here. Meena ma'am certainly reeks of international racket and merciless. Yes, and here also you see, everything that's being, exposed by USAID and Soros. You can see remnants of this here. Now, Meena, I'm seeing you after long gap. You're looking so good. Looks like you have lost a lot of weight. Ahuja, thank you so much. Divya says, good evening. And Janki says, Bandra Vasova youth alone doesn't represent India's youth. There are good youths who go ruin with some wrongful expression, whether it's hit, run case, or vulgar jokes, rich and elite getaway. Yes, absolutely. Agree with you, Janaki. Such an arrogant woman, this Jaya Bachchan. Maybe she wants attention, so she's always up to something. Bachchans are Bachchans because of we, the people of India, who wasted, their money making them a star. Vidya says it's also the highest tax evading. Yes, absolutely. Too much of ego, says Gunzai. I heard her shouting about Bollywood. She is crazy and not worth paying her nonsense. She's also angry. Yeah. So let me just take one more. Just a second, friends. Let me also bring out some other news. Just bear with me, friends. I'll just. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get something out, but I'm unable to do so because of time constraints. Vidya says, heart of hearts, they think Delhi belongs to them and BJP's coming to power is not something they can stomach, hence this unruly behavior. Asha says, normal citizens is a very much sense in society, but these Bollywood actors don't have sense. I don't know why these people get into politics. Absolutely, well said, Asha. I don't know why they're feeling so sorry for him. He knew what he was doing. See, this was completely copied from a Western show. So it was very well practiced. It was rehearsed. Like another comedian said, it was a fixed match where everything was practiced, including the apology. And even in the apology, there is no remorse. They're only talking about themselves, their ego. So you can make out that this is nothing to do with the people who are watching it and the children who are watching it. Vidya says, hats off to you for bringing up the dark side of the celebrity. No one does this in the media. And thank you, Vidya. Namaste. Have been following you for last 1 month from Canada. Love your talks very much. They're eye-opening. Thank you very much. What's happening to the Ranveer case? You'll need to rewind this and see exactly what is the latest. Sherry says, thank you for covering the news regularly. And Lena says, doctors have no ethics. Some of them they are only after, yes, money. You hear everything, the downfall, Hollywood and Bollywood and France, how everything. In fact, Charishta, the way Jaya says that the whole Bollywood industry is in doldrums. Who made it go into doldrums? You guys messed up. You should ask your husband, how did they mess up? If you get the truth, like everybody, each of us have been educated on what is the background to Bollywood and how boycott Bollywood happened. What happened to Sushant Singh Rajput? And how this whole expose came out, then you don't need to question the Rajya Sabha people or the ministers or anybody, the MPs or the MLAs, Thaliwali Mami. You just question your husband. But one thing is sure that no one is respecting these Bollywood or so-called influencers. Some people are only enjoying, says Asha, exposing quite intense. Yes. These people get into politics for freebies that they crave for and all the attention they want. Meenaji is actually someone who gives us a true news of what's happening in the world. Thank you so much, Ron. Jaya's husband lost his voice after the SSR case. Now, what I don't understand is, even in this case, did you ever hear him talking? About what's happening. Did you hear Amitabh Bachchan even whether he said anything about, all the recent things that are happening? He didn't. You see? So this is what is the problem with these people. They talk only when it's convenient to them. They don't talk about anything that is happening that is related to the common man. And then in Mumbai, the problem is that everybody from the police to the hospitals are busy covering up for all the crimes that are happening, as you saw in the Saif Ali Khan case. So this is something. And also, while talking about this, Sonam's So let's go to Sonam. Now you'll also see that there are links. Her in-laws are having links to the US aid, which I will be talking to you tomorrow about, because we have already overstepped our time. And I'll just take a few more comments. Not a word for SSR, but in Calcutta, he spoke against Hindus. They don't care about anyone but themselves. They are a bunch of narcissists. In these boys, if these boys, these boys should be penalized, one tight slap. Savitri, it's the way they are brought up, right? It's the environment that you grew up in. There was a very cheap comment in Twitter where a lady said that, I don't know why these people are making so much noise about it. The kind of talk that Ranveer and the people did, we do daily. So they are justifying and making this normal. You understand, see, all of the people who are watching is that, see, how surrogacy, and that also, with Bollywood, became so popular. It is because of such people, such doctors, who are doing these kind of things and making, so much of money through them. And then if the son speaks like this, I'm not surprised, So this is something, because, I find it very strange that in one of the shows, Ranveer was praising his mother and the kind of support that she has given him. And then he talks about incestuous relationships and how he should, children should be also, where the children should be involved in it. So what do you mean to say? Are you a schizophrenic that you have so many sides to your character, Ranveer? And do you think this is a whole joke? Then that you're not good at comedy? That's what you were saying, apologizing? Is this comedy? Is this dark humor? No. This is, cutting through limits, trying to act, vulgar and bringing in pornographic stuff because you had nothing more to give as content. So this is something that, you have to, all of you need to protest against, friends. It's not something that we take lightly, because this is going to affect our children and their children. Look at the Ghatia mind these people have, says Leena. Absolutely. And music says these people have no sanskar and posed to be religious and spiritual. No, this is one a systematic, brainwashing. So let me tell you, friends. So it is not only Ranveer. There are a few others. There's another lady, who also professes to be, very, Sanatani, who went to Kumbh Mela and, dressed up like a sannyasini. And she's the one who wears the least clothes when she goes around and, eats at different people's places and acts very familiar with top ministers, and also people who are connected to the cabal. Okay. And also there's another guy. So these people slowly, systematically, they bring in Bollywood through, after all these, kind of religious talks. So brainwashing the people to think that they're very nice people, and then slowly they bring in Bollywood people and they start polishing their boots, saying that it's normal to love Bollywood personalities. And that's how boycott Bollywood can be crushed. So this is all a strategy for which the public has not fallen. So now, even if you sort of remove him from the YouTube, nothing is going to happen. They're going to put a lot more people. So the main thing is to have very strict rules on obscenity and what are the limits that they can cross. And this should apply to films as well as documentary, as well as, these people like these podcasters. After this incident, Ranveer got exposed, at least he made a spiritual image. At least, he made a spiritual image. Yes, they have two faces. It's like, I recently saw a movie in which, the humor, it's supposed to be a funny movie, a Hollywood movie in which a woman wants to get pregnant very, she really wants to get pregnant and she tries everything to, become pregnant. But, see, ultimately she puts on an artificial stomach bump. Now, the moment she put that, you could relate with certain actresses in Bollywood who did the same. And they wanted you to believe that they were having kids. And they looked very slim and beautiful even in the last stages of their, supposedly, last stages of their pregnancy. And they just went into hospital, popped out the child and came out. And they thought that we believed in their nonsense. So this is what Bollywood is. This is what these kind of podcasters are. And yes, as Leena said very correctly, SSR really opened our eyes forever. And we will continue to fight for justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. And until we get justice for him, we will not rest. We will continue to fight, and I know we have all your support. With this, we end the session. Good night, Jai Hind, and lots of love from my side. Good night.